I'm at the Lake Fork trailhead, getting ready to hike 5 miles to Lost Lake and meet a group of friends. And then I'll take off tomorrow, hike the Black Canyon Lake, and that'll be my base camp for Beartooth Mountain. Well, we got a moose and a calf right there on the little island in the stream. Calf is tucked right behind her there in the trees, so it's just out of view. Kind of see a little bit. See the moose brook? There it is right there. Come on, keep moving, brook. There you can see the calf just barely laying down. Well, made it to camp in about 2 hours. Got my tent set up. Everyone else is down at the lake fishing right now. We're gonna go get some water, get some food ready. Here's the first fish right here. There's an Arctic grayling. Just a little guy. That's morning of day number 2. Leaving Lost Lake and heading up to Black Canyon. Now we're well into the bushwhacking section of the hike to Black Canyon. We're pretty close to out of the trees at least. You're on YouTube.
Hell yeah, brother, ask.
Well, we're about 2 hours in. Almost to the top. That's the way we came. There it is. Black Canyon Lake. There you go, first fish. Not bad size either. Decent. Look at that brook. Look at that guy. Look at that. There they go. They're going back that way. Brooke and I are going back down that way. Well, I'm making my way along Black Canyon Lake. Making pretty good time. I'm probably about halfway to the end of the lake. I'm gonna get to the end of the lake and then hopefully climb up a little bit, and there's another smaller lake up there with some trees, a little bit of shelter. Well, I finally made it to the end of the lake. About an hour and 15 minutes to get here. I'm gonna try to find a camping spot now. I think I'm gonna go up the hill a little ways. I think I can see some trees. Maybe find some shade and some shelter. Looking up at Spirit Mountain. All right, got my tent all set up. This is gonna be base camp for 2 nights. There's Black Canyon Lake. Brook getting some rest in. And then there's Spirit Mountain right behind us. Well, it's about 7:30. Day number 2. Getting my tent ready for bed. Here's the view I have from outside my tent, looking back at Black Canyon Lake. It's getting a little windy out there, getting a little chilly, but looks like it's going to be a nice night. Well, it's about 4:30 a.m. morning of day number 3, summit day. Just waiting for it to get light. Gonna cook some breakfast and then we'll take off. All right, it's 5:50 a.m. leaving my base camp. Starting to hit the trail. Well, I've been going for about 20 minutes so far. That's the direction I came from. There's my first view of Beartooth Mountain right there, poking out in the sun. That's the direction I'll head. I'm gonna head up. There's my first view of the Bear's Tooth right below Beartooth Mountain. There's my first view of Grasshopper Glacier in the distance. Avalanche Peak is right behind it. There's my mountain up there. I'm making my way to the glacier. That's perfect snow. Nice and packed. Much easier than walking on the boulders, that's for sure. I want to stay away from the holes as much as I can. Little glacial pond here at the base of Forget-Me-Not Mountain. I'm going to try to scoot right up there. I'm going to try to stick to the snow if I can, if it's not too icy. Stay away from these boulders. Well, I made it past the glacier just fine. That's the way it came up. Now I've got lots of rocks to get all the way up to the saddle up there. It's out of view right now. Well, I'm doing a little detour. I was originally going to go up that saddle between Avalanche and Beartooth Mountain up there, but it looks really steep and pretty much all loose scree, so decided I'm just gonna go straight up over here on bigger, more stable rock and just kind of weave my way up. Hopefully get up that way. Well, getting into some pretty intense stuff here. A little bit more flat and sheer than I was expecting, but there's some cracks, so hopefully I can just get up to those bigger rocks and hopefully I'll have more hand and footholds. Looking down. Well, I'm going to take a detour around my detour. Back to plan number 1. I'm going to go back up that scree field. I'm just going to deal with it. If it's loose, it's loose. If I fall down it, at least I'll slide down. I won't fall off a cliff like I do up here. So back to plan 1 after I wasted an hour. Well, I'm 2.5 hours in. There's the saddle I'm heading towards. Making pretty good time, but this is getting pretty steep and all the boulders are loose. Hopefully another maybe 45 minutes to an hour I'll be at the saddle. I'm getting a little closer. About 400 feet to the saddle. Unfortunately it's all loose scree, so one step up, 3 steps back. Oh, I finally reached the saddle. There's the saddle there. There's Avalanche Peak. That's where I came from. And that's the way I'm going. I thought it was going to get a little bit easier, but it only gets steeper. And the summit is over there. So I'll have to climb up and then wrap around. Got some good class 3 scrambling here. Get up to the plateau. Looking back on Rear Guard, Spirit Mountain, Forget-Me-Not Mountain, Avalanche. Got a couple hundred more feet, I'll be hopefully to the plateau. Look at that. Plateau, we made it. There's Whitetail Peak over there. There's the Castle Group. Of course, Sky Pilot Mountain, where I climbed a couple weeks ago. There's a summit over there in the distance. There's looking down on Sky Pilot Lake, where I was a couple weeks ago. That's what I'm doing next weekend. Castle Mountain, straight ahead. There's a long hike across the plateau to the summit. Of course, all of it's above 12,000 feet, so there's not very much oxygen up here. There she is over there. It's just never ending, this plateau. Getting pretty close though. Probably less than 10 minutes. There it is right there, making my final push to the summit. This is it. Ooh, baby, look at that. Looking down on the Beartooth. Let's go over here a little ways. Spirit and Forget-Me-Not Mountain. Look at that Beartooth. That thing is a small summit, man. Unbelievable that's even climbable. There's the direction I came, way back down in that drainage. Black Canyon is out of view. It took me 3 hours and 45 minutes from Black Canyon to the summit. Much quicker than I was expecting. I was expecting 6 to 7 one way, but I'll be able to do the whole thing round trip in 6, probably even less. Pretty awesome view of the Beartooth. think that's First Rock Lake down there. Well, I got a good 10 minutes on the summit. Now it's time to head back. Alright, here goes nothing. Making my descent down off the plateau. Oh. Heading for that saddle right there. Well, made it back down to the saddle. Boulders were really nasty and loose, but made it down all right. Saying my final goodbye to the Beartooth and Beartooth Mountain. It's gonna be out of view here pretty quick. There's a small lake down there. Back to base camp. Total time from camp to summit to camp again, 6 hours and 4 minutes. All right, we're packed up. We're gonna hike down to the north end of Black Canyon Lake, that far end where the trees are. It's about a mile, maybe a little bit more, but it's pretty brutal mile of boulders. That'll help shorten our day up tomorrow a little bit. That was by far the worst boulder field I've ever had to cross. Never again. Especially with a dog. When you're carrying 50 pounds on your back and then you have to carry a 70-pound dog in your front and you go over boulders like that, not fun. I'm getting close. I'm gonna camp right over there where those trees are. Well, that was 2 hours of pure hell. It took 2 hours to go a mile along the shoreline through those nasty boulders. And now I think I finally found a spot for camp for the night. This is gonna be it. I seriously would not wish that on my worst enemy. No way. Finally, time to relax at camp and have a little snack. Right, Brooke? Tent is gonna go right there. For dinner, we got sweet and sour pork. It's gonna be delicious. Let me give you a little tour of my camp for night number 3. There's the tent, obviously. Look at this view. Look at that. It doesn't get much better than that. Battle of dog versus rock chuck. Where's it at, Brooke? See him? Where's he at? There he is. Alright, so I've been saving this just in case I had a successful summit to celebrate. And here we are, success today, so I'm going to try this bad boy out. Give you an update here in a few minutes. Go get it, Brooke. Get it. Go get him. Go get him. There she goes. Look at that thing going. Steaming. Should be about ready. I think it's about ready. They're cooking. Look at that. Fresh baked cookie. Not bad at all. That just tastes pretty good. Alright, it's morning of day number 4. Eating a little breakfast, packing up before hiking out. Got about an 8-mile hike to get back to the car. Not a bad view for breakfast. Well, it's about 8:15 a.m. Got our campos packed up. Time to hike out of here. We've got 8 miles. Say our last goodbye to Black Canyon Lake. Well, we made it out of the Black Canyon drainage. So all the hard stuff is done. We got a nice trail all the way to the parking lot now, about 6 miles left to go. Well, here's Broadwater Lake. That means we're 3.5 miles from the car. Yeah, we're about a mile from the trailhead. Getting closer. Well, there it is. There's the trailhead. After 4 long, hard days, I finally made it back. Thank goodness.